Okay, I'm getting ready to rough out this turning, and what I've done is I've just cobbled together various scraps of hardwood that I have in my shop. I don't have the time to go shopping for hardwood right now, so, and this is the first turning I've made in some time, so I'm roughing it out. There are pictures of the process of gluing everything together. It's somewhat tedious to get all of these kinds of pieces together so that when it's finished it looks like a seamless piece. You can't get rid of all of the seams when you do it this way, but a piece of wood of this size in a fine tropical hardwood is really hard to find. So what I've done is I've cobbled together some very nice walnut that I had from a previous project, and some peduk, which is a South American wood, and it's also, I think you can also get it out of Africa, a similar tree, and it polishes up to a very bright and deep red. It's extremely hard. You have to sharpen your tool very frequently because it has a high mineral content which will dull a blade very, very quickly. I've got a full complement of turning tools, high-speed steel, and micro tools, which I use extensively, little tiny ones. And I even take inexpensive screwdrivers and make custom tools out of those, so that I can do very, very delicate details. And I find that the steel is good enough. Anyway, I've already started roughing this out to take some of the imbalance out of it. There's always some imbalance, and you have to get things very, very smooth. This is sometimes this is really well glued together, so I don't have to worry about it and flying apart too much. But in the more delicate carvings, the rough out process is the part of the process where things fly apart and you lose your piece entirely. That's one of the aspects of turning that is so it's dangerous, and it's also can be very frustrating, because the more delicate your piece, the more likely it is to fail. One false move with your tool, a sneeze or a jerk or something like that, and you can catch the piece, and the force just will literally rip the thing apart or tear it out of the lathe. So this is very secure right now. The headstock that I use I built many years ago, and it's actually compressed air, and I built it that way so that I could do production work on the lathe, and it's putting about 80 pounds of pressure on this end, so things aren't going anywhere. I've got it running at a fairly slow speed right now, and then I'm going to speed it up. That's about 1700 RPM right there. must be adjusted to exactly the right height, and you have to be close to the work, otherwise the tool will tip like this, and you can ruin your piece. That's already dulled. Of course, I keep a running grinder right next to me. As I disappear, I'm going over to the grinder, and instead of attempting to put a razor sharp edge on the tool, I want to put a burr. Actually, creating a burr of wood, high-speed steel, and that cuts much more aggressively than a razor sharp edge. Razor sharp later on when you're doing the final work. Okay, that's almost completely smooth right there. So I'll back this tool rest out, shift it on down, and rough out the top of the jar. Now this is actually, just so you can see, this is going to be the top of the jar, the top edge, and then it's going to be scalloped out and go down. It's going to be more like a vase. It's really just an art piece. It's going to be really interesting and beautiful, but not terribly functional. You can't put water in it unless you've got some kind of a glass thing. But it's actually going to have a fitted lid, a decorative fitted lid. That's a separate piece that I have glued together over there, and it's going to fit very snugly together, so it looks like a seamless piece. I'm not doing any shaping right now. I'm just smoothing out the irregularities and getting an idea of what my blank is going to look like. I can use my finger and feel any irregularities that are left, and that is actually smooth now. Turn off for a bit here and then resume after I've done some deeper work on the piece.